final category within the
best of branding
would be co-branding.
Okay.
So branding, two companies branding together in order to appeal to both of their different groups or demographics or whatever, whatever it is. So winner, I would say, is Hublot, since they obviously do a lot of co-branding and to great effect. And within that co-branding hemisphere, Hublot and Ferrari would probably be their, numero uno. So Hublot and Ferrari started their relationship in 2011, and they've been producing, lots of limited editions ever since. So you've got the LaFerrari piece right here, which I think, that was sort of one of like the knockout standout pieces for their sort of high horology. You've got here different Unico watches in the magic gold, non-magic gold, and I think that's carbon fiber. So they've produced lots of watches over the years, all with elements of Ferrari baked in, the leather that they use on the seats for the straps. You've got, the carbon fiber that might be used on parts of the car on the bezel. I'm sure Tim can talk about more about, other facets of how the two sort of commingle and whatnot. But, two great brands. I think they really speak to each other's, customer base. And I think that Ferrari has failed with lots of watch brands. They failed with GP. They failed with Panerai.
They failed with Longines. They failed with Cartier. It goes back to the 70s.
Yeah. So, and they finally found a home in Hublot, because I think that Hublot thinks enough out of the box for them, and does limited editions in such a way that it just works.
Yeah, I would also say this. Not only do the two brands kind of fit each other, but Hublot has gone farther than almost all of the predecessors to create truly suitable watches. First of all, look at the tech frame tourbillon, the anniversary watch this year, allegedly designed by Ferrari and then implemented by Hublot. That's a closer relationship than you ever had with Panerai, where you remember they were Panerai engineered for Ferrari, and it felt like a shotgun marriage.
It felt like it was just like they changed the dial color and threw Ferrari on there. Like this.
Richemont and Fiat were like guns to the necks of those two companies. Like, you're gonna make a watch. And here's the other thing. Those limited editions, the Ferraris, they sell out.
By the way, they couldn't be doing better now, which is a little ironic. I mean, they do great. They sell out now. It was some of their, they had some flyback chrono, I think, on some of the pieces that they do great now.
Yeah, there is kind of a resurgence in the Panerai Ferrari model.
It's like a cult classic almost. It's like it's so like outside the box, outside the norm, that people just like now love it.
Yeah, it's like an old Ed Wood movie. It wasn't that great at the time. It's like panned universally, and then somehow it becomes so campy it's cool. But I will say this, with the Hublot, if they make 500 of a limited edition Hublot Ferrari, it'll be 500 made, 500 sold. In the past, if you did a watch for a car brand, it would be like, how many did you make? 1,000. How many do you have left? 1,000. You want to buy one?
Well, and what's very interesting now is, Hublot has, I think, moved so far ahead of the pack in figuring out these co-branding relationships, whether it's Berluti, whether it's Ferrari, whether it's the painters that they're now doing, in that they know, A, the markets where they sell, and they know that if they're going to produce 250, 300, 500 watches, that pretty much every one of their doors across the world is going to get just one. And more than likely, those doors have one person that they can sell the watch to. And if for some reason one of those doors doesn't sell the watch and another door or another boutique has somebody for the watch, they're very good at moving the product around. So their limited editions now, while plentiful, really do sell out quite quickly. And especially these Ferrari pieces, which I think is almost its own brand within the brand. When you think Hublot, it's not just Hublot, it's Hublot-Ferrari.
And there are two things about the Hublot-Ferrari relationship, other than the fact that the watches always sell out, that make it a success to me. The first is that they have the ability to localize it. You can do a 25 to 50 piece limited run for every major regional Ferrari dealership. Miami, Houston, you see them out there. They're special, and they tend to make the relationship between Ferrari and Hublot and the customer very localized, and that's a success because at the dealer level, you're using the co-branding of the watch to reinforce that customer relationship. And here's the other thing. In 2016, they had to introduce an MP model of Hublot that was explicitly not Ferrari branded because the line had become so associated at the top of the Hublot model line with Ferrari that they needed an MP model for everyone who owned a supercar that wasn't a Ferrari, because the McLaren guys and the Lambo guys and the Koenigsegg guys kept saying, Hublot complications, that's for Ferrari owners. I don't own that. I don't want that. They had to create a separate one for owners of other supercars. That tells you the brands have done this.
And I think, you know, where it is very interesting is that a lot of these co-branding, it tends to be people that really have a powerful emotion for the brand that it's been co-branded with, and then buy the watch. You know, somebody that's really big into Ferrari buys the Ferrari. Somebody that really likes Berluti buys the Berluti watch. And what's great about this is that obviously you have Ferrari owners that buy the watch, but you have a lot of people that aren't Ferrari owners that really do just like the watch and still buy it. Like if you're, you know, let's use Aston Martin and JLC for an example.
Okay.
Like if you're not an Aston Martin owner, pretty much you're not going to want to get the Aston Martin JLC, especially the one that can open the car door.
Yeah, you're unlikely to buy the transponder if you don't have the car. I will say this too, some of the Aston Martin watches moved very slowly. The MVOX 2s were successful, the MVOX 1s were successful, the 3, the 5, and the 7, they moved less quickly. So Hublot just kind of nailed it. So that's the best of co-branding between brands. Hublot, Ferrari, may you enjoy many happy years together.